Hey guys, Justin from Smoking Meat Tips, Tricks, and Gadgets. Today we're going to be installing the complete gasket and latch system for our Oklahoma Joe Highland. Today I'm going to be using a 3/8 socket set. I'm going to be using a drill bit, a drill, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a Sharpie to go ahead and install this. And we're going to start with our gasket, so you're going to need a sharp pair of scissors. Let's go ahead and get at it. All right, now one of the first things you want to do when you're installing the gasket is you want to make sure you get a good degreaser. We did that earlier when we sprayed it on here and you wiped it down. Get a good food grade degreaser, and you're going to want to make sure you let that sit for several minutes, and then you wipe it down to make sure that we get a really good seal with our gasket. Now, when we're installing it, you're going to notice that there are some places where the two flanges kind of overlap. That's the direction I want to install our gasket. It's going to go over that, not with it, and that's going to give you a little bit of a tighter seal here. So the only thing you're going to do, very easy, we're going to go ahead and pull about 6 inches off. We're going to install it as close to the top as you can. Now you want to make sure that you're not pulling on this while you're installing it. You're just kind of touching it and getting that contact there, pulling the tape as you go, not stretching it. We're getting a nice, even seal all the way down. Once you get to the end, just gonna take a pair of scissors, cut it as close to perfectly on that line as you can. And there's gasket side number 1. And we're gonna do that the same thing on all 4 corners. We're gonna go top, side, bottom, and it's just that simple. All right, it was just that simple. You can see we have plenty left over. It's enough to do the firebox if you want. We're not going to do the firebox in this one. There's a separate gasket system to that Smoker Mods sells that we're going to install on here, but we're going to get to the latches. You can see this took us 2, maybe 3 minutes if you're being very, very slow and very, very careful. One of the simplest, easiest mods you can do that's going to give you a great enhancement to your smoker and make sure the smoke stays inside the smoking chamber through your entire smoke. So we've already got our gasket installed, and now we're going to put the clamps on either side of our box. Now you'll notice here, it comes in 2 different pieces. This is ideal because it allows you to adjust this based on the size of your smoker and how the lid fits. I've got one already put together like that for us here. You notice I got a bolt on the top, bolt on the bottom, and this is about level with here is probably a good place to start, and you can adjust that afterwards, but I'm going to show you how to install it here. Now, on the Highland, we don't have quite as much metal here as you might on the Longhorn. So we have to make sure we pull it in a little bit because you're really going to start getting into welds on that, and that's going to be tough to drill through, and it's not going to give you a good seal. So I'm going to pull this about as close as I can to this section, and then I'm just going to go along the bottom using that as a guide so I get even placement on both sides. So that's right about where we're going to put it. I'm going to go ahead and take my Sharpie, make some marks where I want the drill to go. And we're just going to drill our holes and then bolt it in. went ahead and got both latches installed. Now, one of the things you'll see on this is sometimes this little red handle is going to come off. We use some Lava Lock RTV 650, put that right in there. That's going to act as an adhesive, so it's not going to melt or catch fire or anything on you. One of the other tips you want for this mod is when you're drilling these holes, if you've ever done any type of metal fabrication, you know you start with a small hole and you work your way up. Now, we went 4 different bits, keep on walking it up until we got to the size we needed, 3/16. We were able to get those pilot holes just right. You can also throw some of this RTV in the back if you're worried about complete smoke loss, because that's going to put that seal in the back where those bolts are. But you can see we've got a nice seal right here. We've got that Lava Lock gasket in there that comes with this mod, plus the 2 of these. That's exactly how you want it to look.